Hard to take your foot off the gas just a little bit because you noticed he was tiring out?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a bit.
Did you ever start to reduce your speed a little bit because you realized he was getting tired? He was obviously tiring out, and I wanted to give the fans a show. Ian, at last, Mike Tyson has regrettably admitted that his fight with Jake Paul wasn't what many people had expected because most of it was scripted. He explained that the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations would have stopped the fight if they hadn't agreed to script most of it. This was disappointing for many, especially for those who saw the fight between Iron Mike Tyson and Jake Paul as a contest for the sport of boxing, where Mike Tyson represented boxing in all of its nuances, from amateurs to rankings, trainings, sparring, the ideal method of becoming a champion, and most importantly, the like. What do you think of Jake Paul, the boxer, the excellent fighter? Do you think he deserves public respect? However, Jake Paul represented the simple and highly dubious, which I prefer. Getting to the top, unfortunately, because of financial gain, boxing gave in to outside pressure. Even worse, this shame show was sponsored by one of the sport's best sportsmen, the world's most vicious man. And although he has since acknowledged the fight's phoniness, it has left boxing fans feeling let down. A show, but I didn't want to do unnecessary harm to anyone. Did you care? Yes, Mike? I mean, a little bit. For example, right after the fight, the youngest world heavyweight champion in history took talks to explain everything that appeared to have gone wrong in the lead up to the fight, and to acknowledge that the fight was staged at one point to prevent further health risks. In fact, the fight ended the same way actors thank their audiences after a performance. The legend of Taylor Boxing, in his first social media post after Friday's loss to Jake, Mike Tyson said he was proud despite the loss, in part because he had overcome a physical condition, the full depth of which had not been made public prior to the fight. Paul Tyson claimed that during a medical crisis earlier this year, he nearly died and lost half of his blood, music. Ladies and gentlemen, this year is one of those times when you lose, but yet come out on top. Tyson wrote, "I'm grateful for last night. No regrets about getting in the ring. One last time I almost died in June, had 8 blood transfusions, lost half my blood and 25 pounds in hospital, and had to fight to get healthy, so I want to have my children see me. Stand totally to and finish 8 rounds with a talented fighter half my age in front of a packed Dallas Cowboy Stadium is an experience that no man has the right to ask for. Thank you. It's presumed the incident Tyson is referring to is the one that delayed the fight with Paul. Initially, the bout was expected to take place in July, but was delayed after Tyson suffered a medical emergency on a flight due to an ulcer as an icon. And it's just an honor to be able to fight him. And he's obviously the toughest, baddest man on the planet. So it was really tough. Like, Tyson spoke about the incident in various interviews and laid out graphic details like him defecating a tar-like substance, but did not mention the seriousness using this vernacular. He also noted that he was aware of how many felt about the outcome and how it seemed like he didn't do enough to thrill the majority of the audience who decided to make it to the fight to cheer him. And he claimed he couldn't give his very best, nor could he perform very badly, as he and Jake Paul had an agreement. According to Mike Tyson, the fight wasn't entirely scripted, but he and Jake Paul knew they had to be easy on each other, and they both had to avoid knockdowns or knockouts. To some extent, his social media post was appealing. It seemed to calm the millions of disappointed fans who were just disappointed at the fight and his performance, but also at Netflix, whose sports streaming debut worsened the whole night's display. Is this possibly the last time for you? I don't think so. You got more in you. Who comes to mind? Yeah, we don't. I don't know, maybe his brother or a fan on X tweeted, "You're still the GOAT. I am Mike Tyson. I dare anyone else to try and do the same." An additional fan added, "You're still the baddest man on the planet. I'm glad my kids and I were able to see you in the ring one last time. To be honest, you demonstrated heart, durability, and most importantly, resilience to overcome what happened in June. The GOAT's victory was the biggest of the night, but it did not echo the opinions of many current boxers, such as Terrence Crawford. Devin Davis and Tony Bell thought the show was sloppy, but you want to fight Logan. I believe he said you might be the next, __, Mike. I murder you. "Oh, please, don't use any light world champion." Davis quickly expressed his opinion about the event on social media and criticized to the bozo who gave Mike the ring. Paul said on Instagram, "You were a whole bozo for this, and you didn't get the job done. You will always be a boxing legend whether you like it or not, and I understand you so well. All of this stuff that is happening now means nothing." Jake Paul shockingly offered a world title fight by the undisputed champion after Mike Tyson won. His final messages seemed to tease a fight against Paul, concluding, "I'll beat the brakes off of him when I catch him." Davis then posted a separate heartfelt tribute to former undisputed champion Tyson, labeling it the best fight of the night. Uppercut, jab, left hook, uppercut. Then observe how Davis and Paul have previously fought, and it is evident that he completely blamed the problem child. He was then questioned about Davis's remarks at the press conference following the fight, and an inevitable fight response resulted. "Yeah, I'd be down to fight. Let's run it," he said. With a controversial victory over the legend already on his professional record, Paul was thrilled with the outcome of the spectacle. The 27-year-old was eager to applaud his opponent at the final bell rather than steal the show. "I look up to Mike Tyson, who is a legend. Without him, we wouldn't be here today. Fighting him was difficult, as I had anticipated, but he is exactly what I believe to be one of the greatest to have ever done it. This evening is not about me. Instead, I want to give thanks to the true heroes, the U.S. military, the physicians, the emergency room nurses, the police, the farmers, and everyone else who keeps the world running." The left hand lands for Paul here, and we see Paul look down and come over with an overhand right wow right on Tyson's nose. I was trying to hurt him a little bit because I was afraid he was going to hurt me. Do a good right to the body, push Mike off balance again because Mike wasn't prepared for it. He's becoming a boxer. Excellent shot in a small sense. But this was very different because, although it was ultimately depressing, unedifying, and downright dull, it wasn't nearly the disgrace it threatened to be. Mike Tyson, 58, was still standing at the end of 8 two-minute rounds against Jake Paul, 27, at Ton Stadium in Arlington, Texas, on Friday night. However, as was to be expected, Tyson was defeated not just by the younger Paul, but also by the world's undefeated Father Time. Tyson was once a dynamic former heavyweight champion, but now he is just a shell of the man he once was, like an empty chrysalis, after his life had flown far away. On the other hand, Tyson whipped himself into solid shape and even took on 2 of the judges' Score SC cards. That's all for now. For the best updates on news moments, events, and happenings in the boxing world, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to enable notifications so you can be notified when we post high-quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.